Hello, and welcome to Business Focus, produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. My name is Angela Inzerillo with Impact Business Solutions, and I'm privileged to be your host as we highlight some of the great work our local businesses are doing in the community. Welcome to rainy April. First up, Ms. Dayana Villanueva with the Chamber's GovCon Council. She's here today to talk to us about their upcoming B2G Matchmaking Conference and Small Business Expo. Next up, Gordon Sumner with Veterans Moving Forward. Great programming they are doing to support veterans. You're definitely going to want to hear about that. And last but not least, Mr. Zachary Giegel with District Advisory, telling us how they are supporting small brewing businesses in the finance world. Let's go meet them. Welcome, Dayana. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me, Angela. Happy to be here.
This is great. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know you got a lot of hats that you wear. So thank you for being here. We're so excited for this matchmaking event. I mean, it has been going on. How long has the B2G event been happening at the Chamber?
We are celebrating our 10th year, actually. So we're very excited about that. Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. And so we'll get into that in a minute, but you have done so much work on the event and being part of the council. Why don't you just share quickly a little bit about your background and kind of, M&T Bank?
All right, awesome. So as you mentioned, I'm a senior relationship manager with M&T Bank and Business Banking for Virginia. I specifically cover the Reston area, but we're all over Virginia, Maryland, DC.
Yes.
I specialize in being that trusted partner for business owners at the bank. I pride myself in cultivating long-term relationships by ensuring that we guide our clients and support them to attain their long and short-term goals, basically. So I like to call myself a quarterback, and I have a team that comes with me, and we're here to help our business owners. I've spent my entire career helping business owners basically start a company, grow their company, and then eventually retire from their company, where we work with them with mergers and acquisitions, M&A. And that includes our government contracting industry, which we're going to talk about later. I've been with M&T for almost 4 years, but I've been working in the banking industry for, I don't know, I have to think of how old my kids are here, but over 15 years.
Don't believe her. She just started. She's still in high school. Yeah, the M&T's been an active member for many years, over 15 at least, and you've been active. So when you started, you said about 4 years ago, did you get right into the GovCon Council?
Yeah, so I started right with the GovCon Council as a member of the GovCon Council to learn about what it is that the Chamber does and how we partner and how we help our community. And I really enjoyed it, and I love being part of the council. So in 2020, end of 2020, I got the opportunity to be one of the co-chairs. So definitely jumped on that and was very happy to take on that role.
Yeah, they know good leaders when they get them. So thank you for doing all that. Yeah, so let's get into this fabulous event. So tell us a little bit more about, the B2G matchmaking event, because there's so much involved. There's education, big part of it, education, but networking and the expo, of course. And then, primary is the matchmaking. So tell us a little bit more about the event itself. Yes. And this year, because we're back in person.
Yes, I know. Exciting to be in person. Well, definitely. So again, the Nova B2G Conference and Expo will be this year, and we're celebrating in person this year, and we're celebrating our 10 years.
That's great.
I was honored to be one of the chairs on helping get this event together. Valerie with Did Lake as the other chair, and then Iris with Iris Brick Consulting as the other chair. Iris and Valerie, we've been working together with the rest of our team, because we have a whole council that helps put this team together to ensure that there's matchmaking, that there's educational seminars that are both helpful for the industry itself, and then that you take more, that a lot of our government contractors take a lot out of the experience. So for the conference will start at 8 a.m. and it goes all the way to 1.
And it's May 5th this year, right? Sorry, It's May 5th. Sorry, just want to make sure we got the date there.
Yep, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. We're celebrating.
Right.
Yeah.
Love Cinco de Mayo. Sorry, that's a whole nother interview. Go ahead.
Yes. So the event will start with our keynote speaker, and our keynote speakers this year are Larry Webb, and he is with SBA, U.S. Small Business Administration. He's the
Awesome.
district director.
Nice.
And then we also have Tina Richards from SAIC, and she's the senior vice president and chair procurement officer there.
Very nice.
From there, it would open up to do the matchmaking, and in between matchmaking, we'll have the educational sessions. The 3 topics covered this year for our educational session are leaping over barriers to entry, so how to mitigate changing procurement trends. The other one is what OSDBUS can do for your business, and that's the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, no, that's great. That's a great topic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And then the last one is how to make the transition from a small to a mid-sized company as a government contractor.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, critical for a lot of the businesses that work in GovCon. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Especially because a lot of what we've seen in the industry, especially the past 2 years, I would say there's a lot of mergers and acquisitions.
Yep.
There's a lot of basically partnering of joint ventures to do business together to win certain contracts. So that definitely good topics to become aware of, knowledge of what you could do to explore and get larger contracts.
Absolutely. And it's great to be there with the experts so they can kind of exchange and have a conversation and ask any personal questions too. So talk a little bit more about the matchmaking component.
So the matchmaking is you get up to 3 appointments, and you get to pick who you want to meet with, what primary agency you want to meet with.
Nice.
And you get 10 minutes with that person one-on-one, and you get to be with that decision maker at that company. So it's your opportunity to make sure that you walk away with what it is that you need to win that next contract or that next opportunity or partnership with that company that you are looking to do business with. So I would suggest you ensure you do research and you prepare to meet and ask the right questions, which brings me to another thing. We have an event right before the matchmaking, May 5th. It's going to be in April, where we'll help you basically prepare or sort of give you information on what sort of things to look for when looking to meet with these primes or agencies.
Oh, that's nice. So what is that event a part of? Is that part of the council meeting or something?
Yeah, it's one of our council events. I want to say April 26th. But if you register for matchmaking, you get this event for free as well. So it's not that you have to pay anything extra for this event.
Yeah, because you guys meet the 4th Tuesday as a council, correct, of the month? Okay, yeah, so that is the 26th. Oh, that's super. Oh, that's so tremendously helpful for these organizations. Yeah. And then the expo part. So a little bit more, who's typically part of the expo?
So the expo is all of the businesses that do business in the government or provide services for government contractors. It gives you an opportunity if you wanted to be a sponsor or people that are in the expo center, they're companies that provide services to government contractors to help them do their everyday business.
And so they also have an opportunity to kind of in between meet with the folks that are there too, right? And participate. Correct.
There's lots of opportunity for networking. Our event is very highly attended. I would say over 100 people attend the event. Over 400 people attend the event.
I think it's more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Over 400 people attend the event. So it gives you an opportunity. Not everyone's at matchmaking at the same time, right? So it gives you an opportunity to network and get to know other businesses. And government contractors that are there for their primes and agency appointments.
Awesome. Well, that's great. But, as I always say, Dayana, time always flies. And so as we wrap up here, I just want to ask a little bit more about, we already said where it is. When it is it? Where is it? And what's the website? Because you can find it on the Reston Chamber's website, but there's also a dedicated website for it as well, right?
Correct. So again, it is May 5th from 8 to 1. And it is the website where you can find more information from. Again, you can find it through the Reston Chamber website, but we do have a specific website where you get a lot of information to include the educational sessions, who are keynote speakers, and more people are being added on the primes and agency list every day.
Okay,
so
great.
The website is NOVA, so Nova B2G.restonchamber.org.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Yeah. So if you want to find out about sponsorships, again, tickets, and I know there's tickets to Matchmake, tickets to Just Network. So there's lots of opportunities to get involved on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo as well. before we get talking about veterans moving forward, why don't we briefly share a little bit about your background and how you came to this great place?
So I had a service disabled, as I call it, not just service disabled, service disabled, veteran owned, very small business. It was a very, very, very small business. It was just me, and also Native American, since I'm a member of the Santee tribe. So my fortis was to support nonprofits, which I have worked with and served in for all my life.
Yeah.
And also to help them get their nonprofits either started or get them going, or kind of give them some coaching, maybe give them some directions, help them do that, as well as the occasional veteran-owned small business.
So this is perfect. Yeah, right up your alley.
Yep. So that's what I do, and that's what I was doing. So
then you came aboard Veterans Moving Forward, right?
Yep. And how that happened is I'm not the founders. That's Karen Jeffries, retired Navy commander, and Bob Larson, a friend of hers from New York City. And they had this vision of starting a nonprofit to provide veterans with service dogs that didn't have any caveats. So back then in 2009 and 2010, there were service dog providers, but you had to have been a certain category. So in other words, you had to have been wounded in combat, or you had to have been where you served in the Marine Corps, or you had to have only served in Afghanistan or Iraq, not Desert Shield, Desert Storm, or Vietnam. They wouldn't give you a dog. So their criteria was you only had to have served honorably, one tour a career, and you had to have documentations from your primary care provider. And if you're taking mental health, you had to be in counseling and documentation from your mental health primary care provider that says that they too supported your efforts to get a service dog. And that's it. So when I went to talk to them to say, yeah, I'd love to do it, I went as a business, and I left as a volunteer, much to the chagrins of my wife, who said, so how much money did you sign up for? And I said, well, I'm doing this one for free. And she just kind of ducked her head and walked off. So I served on the board for about 5 or 6 years. I served as secretary, fundraising chair. And then when I became the commander of the local Purple Heart chapter for Northern Virginia, the military or the Purple Heart organization of recipients of the Purple Heart Medal, I left VMF to focus on the chapter. And then in 2019, late 2019, I had left that position, it's still in the chapter, but left as commander. And I was contacted by some of the board members asking if I would come out of retirement, as they called it.
Yeah.
This time, though, not as a volunteer, but to come back full time as the president and CEO of Veterans Moving Forward. So as I tell everybody, the doctor is back, and here I am. So.
Woo! Wow, that was an amazing CV, as we call it. So yeah, they're lucky to have you. So tell us more about the services, because they're so unique and specialized.
Well, the thing that we are proud of is that our mission is to provide our service dogs to any veteran that's dealing with a mental or physical challenge at absolutely no cost to the veteran or their family. Amazing. And why is that important? Because there are organizations that will say they don't charge the veteran. What they don't tell you is that they go around the back door and contact the family and say, right, we're helping the veteran, but if you really want to help, cough up X number of dollars. That never happens. All of our animals that we place for these veterans, they go out the door free of charge, and they're valued at about $40,000 a dog.
Oh yeah,
when they walk out the door.
The training that's involved, amazing. The services that they can provide to the veterans. Wow.
Yep, that's exactly right. And so what we want to do is we want to increase our capacity.
Right.
Continue increasing our programs, and really we want to become the premier go-to nonprofit for providing these service dogs nationwide, because there's such a huge demand for them. As I tell people, I want us to continue to be able to expand our paw print across the country by growing our programs, placing and duplicating our programs across the country and other training areas. So we don't just have the one I've got now. I'd like to have a bunch of them, so that we're basically providing a dog a day to a veteran somewhere across our country that has done so much for our country and their service and sacrifice.
So you're looking for both dogs as well as trainers, or what do you have in place?
Well, right now I have one trainer.
Okay.
And that's basically because of funding, and it's also because of the limited space that I've inherited. We're in an industrial park place there on the north side of the Dulles Airfield. I have no outdoor facility. I have no place to keep the dogs overnight, so we have to rely on puppy raisers, which are basically a foster parent who brings the kids to school during the day and they pick the dogs up at night and keep them on the weekends. The good ratio for a service dog to a highly qualified trainer, like what we're blessed to have with Katie Paulson, is 4-1, maybe 5 at the most, depending on what stage of training that the dogs are in. Right now, we've got 9 in the program, so she's overworked and underpaid. But I can't do any more. I can't bring any more dogs in. I can get dogs. I've got veterans. I've got 30-something veterans on a wait list.
Yeah.
So that's why we're trying to raise a lot of money so we can get a new training center where we can have the day-night training. We can keep the dogs there 24/7. I can put the veterans into a cabin that I'd like to build on this site so we can house them and their spouse during their training periods and not have to put them in a hotel underneath an airport. So that's, and then be able again to replicate the successful training as we hire more trainers, increase our population of service dogs, and then take that and put it across the country at other
amazing
sites.
Amazing.
That's the venue.
Absolutely love it. I'm so glad you're here to share the story. So before we tell everybody, we're going to wrap up, and before we tell everybody how they can get involved, though, what is the main service that is being provided to these veterans? Like, what are they getting out of this?
Well,
companionship.
Well, what we're doing is our canine is supporting veterans that are dealing with the invisible as well as the visible injuries, ranging from loss of limbs to post-traumatic stress. And these are veterans who may have had that occur either in a combat situation or a non-combat situation. It doesn't matter. Our whole goal is to let these veterans, with the support of their healthcare providers, we're an enhancement to that with our service dog programs, so that they can live a stressful and unemotional and safer life. So that way we really do help these veterans move forward with their lives. Yeah,
it's perfect. Well, Gordon, it is so great to have you. It's great to have you as part of the chamber, and we're really thrilled to be able to share your organization and the stories, to Fairfax County and others. So any way that we can help, but how can companies and individuals get involved with VMF?
Okay, real quickly, here's the laundry list. First, visit us at our website, www.vetsfwd.org, vetsforward.org. You can donate from the website. If you'd like to volunteer, it talks about how you can volunteer. We live by volunteers. There's only 3 of us, me, Lori Sittner, my COO, and Katie, our trainer. But we have right now 55 volunteers that logged hours last year at over 15,500 hours. Wow. That they dedicated to us. Nice. Participate in a fundraising event, host a fundraising event. Let us know if that's something that you're interested in doing. We'll help in any way we can. That's part of it, but there's also helping us at no cost. Tell your friends, tell your family, follow us on social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We're all out there. Go to my website on LinkedIn and you can see the post, and eventually we'll have that. But if you want to see us on LinkedIn, just go to my LinkedIn page, write a positive review on Facebook and Google, share our Facebook with all your friends, and help me find organizations I can talk to. All of us belong to other civic organizations, church groups, Rotary clubs, professional organizations. Everybody's looking for a speaker. Let me come and talk and share our stories.
Awesome.
Maybe bring Katie, one of our dog teams, and let us do that. And the best one of all is saying, if you shop Amazon Smile. Amazon Smile is the charity portion of Amazon. So it looks just like Amazon, because that's what it is, but you log into your Smile Amazon account, choose Veterans Moving Forward as your charity of choice. Now, every time you make a purchase, yourself, your business, your family, your friends, anybody who buys through Smile Amazon, you will get, we'll get a donation from Amazon based on the percentage of your sale. Doesn't cost you a dime.
That's awesome.
Just a little thank you note that says, purchase.
Who knew that? That's great. Yeah, that's just a service that's huge benefit. That last one was a kicker. So we'll make sure that we put that on the display screen before we go here. Gordon, it was so great to have you here today and share, like I said, all the information about your organization and of course you. I look forward to seeing you soon. this is the first time we're getting to meet. So this is very exciting to share with our audience what you guys do.
Happy to.
Awesome. So yeah, why don't you just share a little bit about your background? I know you've been in this world for quite some time, but yeah, a little bit about your background and how you started district advisory before we kind of get into what you guys do.
Over 20 years, I've been doing this stuff. So
No way.
I'm a CPA as well. So certified public accountant.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Pittsburgh, started my career in Pittsburgh, and then moved down to DC. And probably about 8 years ago, I started a firm called GSP Financial. And because there's a pretty unique need in our industry, the accounting industry. There's a lot of technology advancements.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of accountants were more historical thinking, so that they would give their clients like historical balance sheets and P&Ls and financial statements, but not really advising their clients on like forward-looking stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. We know what to do. If data is data, but unless you really kind of know what to do, right? I mean,
and with all these software services now, like you can go on and sign up for QuickBooks Online. You can run your payroll online. There's a lot of dashboards out there right now. 7 years ago, that was just coming up. And I thought there's an opportunity here that we could really advise our clients on how they're doing and where their future looks. What does the next 2-3 months look like from like a cash flow perspective, and how are you going to grow your business? So I started GSP Financial, and then grew it to the point where right before COVID, our clients were asking us a lot of accounting related questions, but a lot of tax related questions. CST, that's when we teamed up with CST, who's really a tax specialist, to create district advisory.
Yeah, that makes absolutely perfect sense. So from an organization standpoint, what is the district advisory, specifically your guys' mission and vision?
When you look at what we do with our clients use us to do all their accounting.
Okay.
So paying their bills, invoicing their customers, running payroll, giving them financial statements, figuring out their budget, educating them on their company and their financial goals and where they want to be.
Well, they're good at what they do, right? They're blind. They're like, hey, I make good pizzas or whatever. I run a great coaching practice, right? But all of this data and this information, they're probably not looking at as often as we should, is what I'm guessing, right?
Exactly. Yep. And communication really is the key with our clients. When you think of what we're doing for our clients, we're touching base almost on a daily basis with them. And so that relationship is something that kind of separates us from a lot of our competitors, because we take communication very seriously. We're communicating with our clients on a daily basis. Typically we have a team, 3 or 4 of us at District Advisory, that are associated with one client. So we're all involved in supporting that client and helping them achieve their goals.
Yeah, it gives them a different perspective, probably with the different minds. So from an organization standpoint, like what do you have for a vision of the company? So futuristically.
Well, we've grown quite a bit over the past, since COVID started. We've grown quite a bit. We're all virtual right now, but we have 15 people on our team now.
Okay.
And we have over 50 clients right now. I think from where we see ourselves in 2 to 3 years, we don't really focus on like the size, where we want to be at. We don't say we want to be at 100 clients or 30 employees. Mm-hmm. We're more geared towards what are the goals that we want to achieve. Like, we want to educate our clients. We want to make them more financial savvy and understand their position, understand their financial goals. Do they want to sell? When do they want to sell? What's the right price? How do you price your services to your customers? So we want to educate our clients. That's one of our goals. And also keep our team, our employees, very interested in what they're doing, as well as continue their education, so that over the next 2-3 years, our staff can move up. And now they're more advisors to our clients than just a staff. So the vision really is just more education to our clients so they can achieve our goals, and internally to our team, we want them to achieve their goals. So it's educating them as well.
I think that you said it really well by saying you guys are, and I think this probably differentiates you. So talk a little bit more about like your clients' challenges, but also how you uniquely help them. And I think a big part of it is, I mean, you just said like almost every day you're communicating with them, right?
Mm-hmm. Which when people think
Really
of accountants, they generally think of somewhat introverts. And so we're typically not the best at communicating.
Sure. It's hard. Hey, it's hard in general. So yeah, no, I get it. But especially about no offense against it, but it's like about financials, right? So it's not really sexy, but it's the core of everybody's business. So people, what do you would say the biggest challenges for most of your clients?
Cash flow.
It's just cash flow. Yeah.
Cash flow. Most of our clients, they're entrepreneurs, right? Yeah. So they started their business. They're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
Financial, they're strength in the financial statements and just understanding cash flow of the business and how that works. It's not typically up there because they're really good at what they do, and they should be focused on us. So it's not uncommon that we take on a new client. In the first 3-4 months, we're sitting there and we're talking to them almost on a weekly basis and saying, this is what you need to know about your business and understand about cash flow. Like, do you have a short-term view of where your cash is going? Or do you have a plan of where you want to put it? And the general answer is no.
Yeah. They're not even thinking that.
Them.
They're not even thinking. I mean, it's nice to know that the freight train's on its way before it hits you, right? So, I mean, I hate to use that term, but it's kind of true. So it's really, really important that you guys are, you know that, you know what to look for, you know, the signs, and then you can kind of share because like you said, they're good at we're all good at what we do. It's just a matter of, trying to keep some of that foundation really solid. And that's what you guys do really well.
Yep. And, when you think about accounting, it's not really difficult to do the accounting, to pay the bills, to run payroll, to close out the books and give you financial statements. That's not too difficult to do. And our team is really good at that. The more difficult part is advising your client and educating them, as well as making sure that communication keeps flowing. Because those 3 areas are where things can break down. And I think, I focus on those 3 areas a lot with our team and a lot with our clients. Just because I think those are 3 of the most important areas that adds value to a client right there. The accounting is the accounting. You obviously need to be really good at it, and our team's really good at it.
Right, but that's table stakes.
Areas that can make a difference.
I mean, that's basically table stakes. So from a services perspective, it sounds like you've designed what you deliver specifically for what small businesses, who you serving, and what services are they utilizing most?
Yeah, so it's generally for companies that, have maybe anywhere between 5 and sometimes 50 employees, revenue up to maybe 10, 15 million.
Okay. That's high.
Yeah.
I mean,
but also on the low end, we're servicing clients that are just starting up. They're tech companies. So they're just starting up and they're going out and doing a capital raise. So they have 0 revenue right now.
Right. But you're keeping them focused on what they need to focus on.
Yep, that's true. It's an interesting business, and the different entrepreneurs that you meet throughout is I think that makes it really exciting. You get exposed to these very unique ideas and interesting entrepreneurs, and that keeps me interested. That keeps our team interested. You would think that accounting is not that exciting. It can get kind of exciting.
Woohoo! Finance, numbers. Hey, like I said, it's really the lifeblood of the business. So thank you for doing that and serving the small businesses, because, we all know the numbers, unfortunately, businesses that go out of business. So thank you for what you do.